Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Paul's Stuff. This is my place on YouTube where I can talk about all the things I love. Lots and lots of Star Wars, lots of lightsabers. Not always those things, but today is a lightsaber review. You'll be looking at the new LGT, or I believe they're changing their name now to Nexus. So LGT and Nexus are kind of the same company, Chinese company that make reasonable quality lightsaber hilts from China. I'm going to be taking a look at their new Darth Vader Ep.6 in a moment, which I bought this time from a different company. I bought this one from a company called Howes Kybers. Tell you a little bit more about that experience as we go into the video. It was good, by the way. But before we do that, I wanted to quickly have a look at my Luke Ep.6 lightsaber. One of the sound fonts I have on this is from KSith. It's their LS6 cave scene. Now, those of you that know, this lightsaber in this configuration is seen in a deleted scene from Return of the Jedi, where Luke is fine-tuning his lightsaber, finishing off the construction of it, whatever it is he's doing. He's in a cave on Tatooine doing that before he puts it into R2 to go off to Jabba's palace. And we see underneath the clamp card a little electronics board, and these light up and flash as well. Mine won't light up there, but I wanted to have something under the clamp card that represented that that scene where you can see the electronics inside the clamp card. Seen other people do it. Now, the LGT Sabers, there's not enough room in the box to be able to put proper electronics in. The button's under there, and there's a screw that holds the clamp section to the saber. So there's no room to do a proper electronics board. So what I did was to print off a fairly high-res image of the clamp card electronics. I then laminated that, resized it so that it fits in here, laminated it, and now, I don't know if you can see that, I have a clamp card reveal, sort of, with this saber. So I've got the sound font for the cave scene on here. A quite iconic sound that was played during the scene. That's my little detail update to that saber. But now on to what we're actually here to look at today. That is the new Darth Vader Ep.6 from LGT / Nexus. Here we are. This is a beautiful saber. Now, I'll say right up front, this one's been weathered. This has had my weathering passes. Tried to go for a sort of light to moderate weathering pass on this one. So the edges of all the black and the chrome I've sanded down a little bit with 500 and 800 grit sandpapers. So then had a black wash, a brown wash, and about 3 coats of Tamiya semi-gloss clear coat. So this isn't how it comes out of the box. It'll be a lot more shiny than this out of the box. It is a fingerprint magnet, effectively. It's chrome. So yeah, but I wanted mine weathered, so this one's already been done. We've got Darth Vader Ep.6 blade plug in there from Saber Armory. Now when you get this, I bought this saber from a company called Howes Kybers here in the UK. Nice little company to do business with. The saber came reasonably quickly. Was a little bit delayed because they are a very small company and I ordered it over the Christmas period, Christmas and New Year period. So there was a bit of a delay in it arriving, but it arrived reasonably quickly. It came with a whole load of extras. There was a saber stand with it, the usual SD card reader, USB SD card reader, charging cable, spare screws, a little Howes Kybers pin badge with it, and all of their character sabers. So sabers like this that belong to a character rather than custom sabers come with one of these cases. I have used one of these before. They are okay. You do have to do a little bit of work to them, however. I find they're designed to hold 3 sabers and 3 blades, which is great, but when you've got that amount of weight in here, because the clasps are at either end and the handle's in the middle, when you pick them up by the handle, they tend to gap open here. So I always put another latch on one. But anyway, it's a nice addition to my lightsaber cases. So this has a 1-inch blade. I believe comes standard with a 36-inch blade from Howes Kybers. This is a Xenopixel, as usual for me. I like my Xenopixels. They do everything I need them to do. And this is set up with several sound fonts. The first one is the Kyberphoic's Father sound font, and this is set up with the Return of the Jedi one, obviously, because it's a Return of the Jedi saber. So this is Kyberphoic's Father, Return of the Jedi. All the usual things. Set up with quotes from the film. Works really well with this. Gesture controls as normal with Nexus sabers, I suppose I should be calling them now. Now one of the other things that Howes Kybers do is their own sound fonts, and Steve at Howes Kybers was very kind enough to send me some Darth Vader sound fonts to try out on this saber. So the next sound font you'll hear is a Howes Kybers sound font. This is their Darth Vader Ep.6 sound font. I have altered this sound font a little bit in that when I got it, there were several different font sounds on it, sounds that you get when you go to the font. I've swapped those to be Force sounds, so that I've got quotes from Darth Vader from Episode 6 as the Force effect on here. So it's a nice sound font. All the usual effects. Tip drag. Lock up. Blast the block, obviously. And then we've got the Force effect. They also come with music tracks on here. Not going to play those because I don't want to get a copyright strike from YouTube for them. But They come with the Imperial March. This sound font comes with the Imperial March, and I believe it's the sort of cave scene from Dagobah in Empire Strikes Back. The music from that. So really nice sound font. I believe these are $9.99 on Howes Kybers' website. The next font is another of theirs. This is their Darth Vader Episode 3. So we've got the Episode 3 Darth Vader breathing on there. I've set this one up with a cracked blade, so it's got the sparkle through it as well. If you want to see how to change all of these things so that the fonts are set up how you want them, I've got videos on how to set up your SD card. I'll leave a link in the description to those. Blaster block. Now I think most of these fonts for Darth Vader from Howes Kybers are the same basic font, and then they've added in some different quotes and things. So this one has Episode 3 quotes.
Yes, Master. Where is Padme? Is she all right?
So that's their Episode 3. The next one is their, I believe this is a separate sound font. They do a Darth Vader Kenobi series sound font, and this is Darth Vader Kenobi series from Howes Kybers.
Anakin is gone. I am what remains.
So I think this is a different sounding font from them. All the others are based on their Darth Vader font, I believe. And this obviously has quotes from Darth Vader. From the Kenobi series. So there's a couple more on here. Next is their Episode 4, A New Hope. Again, this is a Howes Kybers font.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
This is their standard Darth Vader font again, with quotes from A New Hope.
Commander, tear this ship apart until you found those plans and make me the passengers I want them alive.
And last of the Howes Kybers fonts, this is their Episode 5 Empire Strikes Back font. So, very similar stuff. Nice sound fonts. I'll probably be getting some more from them. They are set up, their sound fonts, Kyberphoic sound fonts come in a format that is ready to go on Xenopixel Sabers. They don't do other formats at the moment. So these are really sound fonts that are designed for Xenopixel Sabers, and they have a lot of them. If you go and have a look at their website, they have a very good amount. Most of the characters you'll ever want, most of the characters that have hilts in Xenopixel Sabers. So yeah, I can recommend them for sound fonts as well as lightsabers. So I'm just going to pop the blade out of this, give you a last look at this. This hilt does also have two of the standard Nexus sound fonts for Darth Vader on it. It has let me just check, I've got my cheat sheet here. It has the Dark Lord Revisited, which is a Reaver's Arsenal font, and also the Dark Lord Order, which is a Repulse Collectibles font. So I've got all those fonts on here. It complements my episode 5 Darth Vader. Really like this saber. As soon as I saw it, I knew I was going to get one. It's a great saber out of the box. I think it looks even better weathered. One of the things I did do, I believe, this part here is a catch for a cupboard where it has two like spring-loaded ball bearings in it, and you push a wedge in between them when you shut the door, and that holds the door shut. When you get this is all black. So I used a little bit of the Stuart Semple silver paint to paint what should be the ball bearings, and then with the weathering they've come out looking really well. So a little bit of detail painting there. I did this, when you get this, this circular piece here is actually a screw thread that you tighten in to retain the blade. Got a really deep socket for the blade, so it's nice in that respect. I over tightened that and broke it. It's really not very strong a thread on this, I found. So I've drilled out the centre of it, glued that in place, and I've just got a standard screw inside there that I use a screwdriver for, and that works absolutely fine. As all Xenopixels, single button setup, very easy to access the charge port. You just screw the bottom end off. Here's your charge port. It's your Xenopixel board with your SD card. The battery, I've got a Saber Armory battery cover on mine, and I've upgraded the battery to 3000 milliamp hour, 15 amp keep power 18650 battery. Details of all where you can get all of this stuff, there are details in the description and links in the description. You can't take the battery out without dismantling the saber a little bit further, so you have to take the core out to do that, and in order to do that you have to take the control box off. Then you can slide the clamp section off, and it reveals a couple of screws. You undo those and you can pull the core out. So it doesn't have an easily removable battery, but you can get at the SD card relatively easily. Again, if you want to know how to customize your SD card and everything that goes along with that, I've got a separate video on that on my channel. Do have a look at that before you go messing with your SD card. And before you do anything on any of these sabers, if you take the SD card out, make a copy of the files that are on the SD card. Can't stress that enough. It's really important to do that. I believe in reality this was actually a Luke stunt saber from The Empire Strikes Back. And so it has the D-ring on the bottom. And actually if you remove this collar piece here, it actually looks like a Graflex. This is where the Graflex eye would be. the button would be on the back. So there were bits added to it, and different box section on the clamp to make it look more like Darth Vader's. But this would have been a stunt saber in Return of the Jedi. It's seen in a couple of scenes. I think it's in the scene where Vader throws his lightsaber at Luke. But actually, if you stop that, you'll see that they've actually rotoscoped in the blade on the wrong end of the saber in post-production. So this wouldn't have been like a hero saber in the actual movie, but after the movie, I believe this was in the archive and got pulled out to do a couple of tours, and it's become known as the Darth Vader Episode 6 lightsaber from there. I think it did the Myth of Mystery tour with the cave scene Luke. These are both known as MOM sabers, Mom sabers. They're Mom stands for Myth of Mystery, which was a tour that these two sabers ended up on after the Return of the Jedi. So yeah, it's a really nice replica. As with all LGT Nexus sabers, it's not 100% accurate. But it's a lovely saber. So there we go. So bought this time from Howes Kybers. A little bit more expensive than some, but you do get the lovely carry case with it and lots of extras. The service is really good, and their sound fonts are nice as well. So I would consider them if you're looking for an LGT saber, particularly if you're in the UK. This was sent from the UK as well. It wasn't drop shipped, so Howes Kybers are sending stuff out from stock in the UK rather than drop shipping. I think they may do sometimes if things aren't in stock, but generally if it's on their website, they're going to have some stock and be able to send it out from the UK for you. So yeah, it's another manufacturer to take a look at when you're thinking about buying a Xenopixel saber or an LGT Nexus saber. So going to leave things there. I hope you liked the video. If you have, please give it a like, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. I do keep an eye on how many people are subscribed. I think we're around the 320 mark or so now, which is really great. Hope you've enjoyed everything. Hope you continue to keep coming back and watching my videos, and I'll see you for the next one. Cheerio.